So, you want to teach English online, but you don't know where to start, what you need, or where to apply. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, it might just be simpler than you think. I'm Simi, welcome to Class in the Cloud. On this channel, I desire to encourage and inspire teachers and learners who engage on the online platforms. In this series, we're talking about teaching English online, specifically how to get started. Now this is video 3 of a 10-part series. So if you have not watched the other 2 videos yet, link below, and be sure to watch them after this video. And don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next video. In this video, we're going to talk about technology, gadgets and internet, specifically about the basic hardware required to start teaching English online. Now, if you have been teaching online already, you might be familiar with the following scene. Lesson plan. Let's log into the classroom. Okay, so video check done, speed test done, testing, sound test done. Okay, here we go. Here comes the student. Hello, I am Simi. What's your name? You can't hear me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? No? There are 4 basic hardware necessities that you need for teaching English online. Number 1, a device or a laptop. Number 2, a webcam. Number 3, a good headset. And number 4, a router. Today we're going to go into a bit more detail about the tech you require to be a successful online teacher. Firstly, you want to look at your laptop. Now, I have quite a monster of a laptop. It's a LENOVO IDEAPAD 500. It is an i7, 8 gig, terabyte hard drive and runs on Windows 10. It is quite an expensive computer and could cost you in the region of 20,000 Rand. Now, I'm not saying spend 20,000 Rand on a computer. I do have a backup computer, which is an i3, 4 gig RAM, and also runs Windows 10. There is a huge difference between the two, obviously. On my backup computer, when I teach, I would only have a browser open, teaching platform open, and communication app open. Anything more than that, and the computer starts to drag. So the idea would be to get something in between the two. So when you apply to teach English online, the Chinese English language schools would most likely ask you to send a screenshot of your computer specs. Now this is not anything funny or suspicious. They basically want to make sure that your device has enough memory to run the applications required. To give you an idea, when you're teaching English online, you'll have several communication apps. So it would be WeChat, DingTalk, one of those. Then you'll also have the teaching platform, usually an app that you download. You will have to have your browser open so you can go in and out of the platform from there. And you would most likely also have software such as Manicam. And you need to be able to run all of those simultaneously without your laptop crashing or slowing down. I'll go into the software in more detail in future videos, where I'll actually do some tutorials on how to download and set up these teaching applications and software. So look out for my next series, ESL Teaching Strategies. If you have been investigating or searching teaching English online, you might have come across some posts on social media where people say that you can teach English from a tablet, iPad or phone. Sure, if you're doing conversational English alone and running applications like Skype or Zoom, that you could get away with that. However, if you want to take teaching English online as a serious career, either full-time or part-time, I would recommend investing in a good laptop. There are several advantages to using a laptop. Number 1, if your electricity supply cuts, like often the case in South Africa, your laptop will continue running, which is not necessarily the case for a desktop unless you have a UPS, but that also won't be sufficient to finish the class most likely. The other advantage of using a laptop is that you can take your class with you wherever you go. Number 2 is quite simple. Invest in a good webcam. Many teachers would say an external webcam is better, but if you have a good quality laptop, The internal webcam is sufficient and the visual quality is good enough. However, I do have a little backup Logitech which I can use with my backup computer if needed. Next on the list, you need a good quality headset. Reason being, you'll be using this headset every day. It needs to be comfortable, it needs to have good noise cancellation, and the sound both to you and the student must be clear. Basically, because you are correcting pronunciation every single lesson. Now, this headset is really lovely. It does look like I'm flying a plane, but it is very comfortable. I use it every day and I have not had any problems. When I started teaching English online, I went through a headset every 4 months. Never had a problem with this one. This one is the MSI Dragon Fever gaming box headset, as they call it. And if you would like to purchase online, there's a link below. It will cost you in the region of 1,700 Rand. I am very blessed. This one I got as a gift and I love it dearly. So in buying a headset, you don't have to buy the most expensive headset. Basically, what it needs to be comfortable, number one. Number two, it needs to have good noise cancellation. And number three, I would recommend a double prong. Reason being that the sound quality for yourself and the student is so much better. Now, laptops don't usually come with an internal double prong. So I purchased this little Unitech device, USB compatible, and you just plug in and play and it works beautifully. I also have a Logitech headset as a backup. This is a nice headset, but it's not very comfortable when teaching several hours in a row, and the noise cancellation is not as good. But as a backup, it works really nicely. Now you need to remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was your ESL classroom. So grow your technology as you grow as a teacher and add as you go. So purchase what you can afford at this point in time, and you can always upgrade as you go. Lastly, I'm going to talk about probably the most important aspect, and that is good, stable internet connection. Now, I cannot stress this enough, simply because you are teaching online. Unstable, intermittent internet connection does not only come across as unprofessional, it is also extremely frustrating. So invest in a good quality router and make sure that your internet speed is fast enough. When you apply for teaching English online, during your application as well as your interview, you will be required to do a speed test. This is standard procedure. They just need to make sure that your internet is fast enough to run the online teaching platforms. I would recommend in a good router. I use the Howie B315 with the bunny ears. It's serviced me really, really well. I also have this backup battery, which has been my lifeline during load shedding in South Africa. But more on that in a future video. For now, you need to make sure that you have good, stable and cabled in connection. Now you might be wondering what service provider to go with. Now this really depends on where you live and what is available in your area. I am with Access. I use a Telkom SIM card and I've been quite happy with the service and the speed. Unfortunately, my area has not been blessed with fiber yet, so I use LTE. I use a SIM card, I buy my data every month, and it has worked really well for me up to this point. One of the big reasons why I have not gone with uncapped is that some companies tend to throttle your speed when you reach a certain data cap. I can't afford to have my internet speed throttled while I need to teach. Therefore, I have a month-to-month contract. This router could cost you in the region of 2,500 Rand. However, when you sign a contract with a service provider, you would most likely be able to buy a router with your contract. My last point on the internet is that if you prefer to go uncapped, please read the fine print with regards to throttling of speed, and also make sure it's a 10 to 20 megabit per second line. I've added some links below of service providers in South Africa. Please have a look and see which one suits your needs best and which company gives you the best coverage for your area. Now you've probably noticed that I have mentioned the word backup several times. Over the last 2 years, I have built up a steady supply of tech, and I have a backup device for every single item in my classroom. This is simply because technology is great when it works, and I have a love-hate relationship with our national electricity supplier. In my next video, I'll be going into more detail about how I set up my classroom to be able to work in and through load shedding without skipping a beat. So if you want to know more about that, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and look out for my next video. And that's a wrap. If you found this video informative, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I load videos every week. Thanks for watching. I'm Simi. This is Class in the Cloud.